Tonight's nightmare is about to get worse. Before we continue, if you missed part 1, go watch it now. Link in the description. And if you don't wanna miss the insane ending in part 3 dropping this Wednesday night, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell right now. I didn't sleep for 4 days straight after I got that 3:12 a.m. text from Rebecca. Every night the knocking came. Knock, always 3. Always between 2:57 a.m. and 3:17 a.m. Always followed by the faint smell of wet pine needles and lavender. I changed the locks on my apartment in Atlanta the very next day. Smart deadbolt. The kind you can monitor from your phone. The first night with the new lock, the camera caught nothing, but the knocking still happened. The app showed the door physically shaking in the frame, yet the motion sensor never triggered, like something was knocking from the inside. On the 5th night, I installed 4 cameras inside the apartment. Living room, bedroom, hallway, even the bathroom. I fell asleep on the couch with the feeds open on my laptop. At 3:03 a.m., the bedroom camera glitched. Just for half a second. When the image came back, there was a woman standing at the foot of my bed. Auburn hair, pale skin, wearing a soaked white nightgown that clung to her like she'd just come out of water. She was staring straight at the camera. Her mouth was open way too wide, like she was trying to scream but no sound came out. Then the feed cut to black for 6 full minutes. When it came back online, she was gone. But my bedroom door, which I had closed and locked from the inside, was wide open. I called in sick to work the next day. I Googled everything I could about the cabin. Whispering Pines Retreat deaths. Rebecca Caldwell's sister Emily. Gatlinburg Airbnb ghost. Nothing useful. Just generic haunted Tennessee clickbait. Then I found the old listing photos from 2022. Before Rebecca changed the name to Whispering Pines Retreat. Back then it was called Emily's Rest, a place to heal. The profile picture was the same woman, but younger, healthier, smiling on the same deck. The bio read, built by my sister Emily after her diagnosis. A place for peace and quiet in her final months. Now open to those who need the mountains to heal them too. So Rebecca had lied. Emily was the original owner. Rebecca was the sister who took over after the death. I messaged Rebecca on Airbnb. We need to talk. About Emily. She didn't reply for 8 hours. Then, at 11:11 p.m., Rebecca, Ethan, please don't dig. Some things are better left buried in the mountains. She chose you. I can't stop it now. Chose me for what? No answer. That night, the knocking didn't come. Instead, I woke up at 3:33 a.m. to find my front door wide open, chain dangling. Deadbolt unlocked. On the hallway floor outside my apartment, wet bare footprints led from my door to the elevator and stopped. I followed them. The elevator was waiting on my floor, doors open. Inside, the walls were covered in wet handprints at shoulder height. The floor was soaked. The elevator smelled like lake water. I slammed the doors shut and called the building super. He came up, looked around, told me I was probably sleepwalking. I showed him the camera footage. He went pale and said he'd have maintenance check the pipes. I didn't go back inside my apartment that night. I checked into a hotel downtown. The next morning, I drove the 5 hours back to Gatlinburg without stopping. I was going to confront Rebecca in person. I had her address from the Airbnb host profile, an apartment above a fudge shop on the main strip. When I got there, the shop owner told me Rebecca hadn't shown up for work in 3 days. Her apartment was locked. No answer. I drove to the cabin instead. The gravel road felt longer this time. Darker. The leaves were mostly gone now, just skeletons rattling in the wind. The cabin looked abandoned. Windows dark. No silver SUV. The front door was cracked open 6 inches. I parked and walked up slowly, heart in my throat. Rebecca? Nothing. I pushed the door open. The inside was destroyed. Quick reminder, if you're freaking out and want the final part the second it drops this Wednesday night, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Trust me, you will not see the ending coming. Furniture overturned, cushions shredded. The massive TV smashed. Every mirror in the place was cracked in a perfect spiderweb pattern from the center, like something had punched them from the inside. On the kitchen island, written in what looked like mud and blood. She followed you, I tried to warn you, she never lets go underneath. A Polaroid photo. It was me, sleeping in the loft bed the first night. Taken from the corner of the room where no camera could have been. On the back, in Rebecca's handwriting, I'm sorry, Ethan. She always picks one guest every season. She thinks she's saving them. She thinks she's bringing them home. I heard footsteps upstairs. Slow, bare feet on hardwood. I looked up the staircase. Rebecca was standing at the top. Or what was left of her. Her auburn hair was matted with blood. One eye was swollen shut. Her nightgown, the same white one from the camera footage, was torn and soaked. She smiled with broken teeth. "Ethan, you came back." Her voice was wrong. Two voices at once. Hers and something older underneath. I backed toward the door. "Rebecca, what the hell is going on?" She started down the stairs. One step, pause, another step. "Emily never died," she whispered. "Not all the way. The cancer took her body, but the mountains kept her. She stays in the wood, in the water, in the guests who need healing the most." Another step. "She saw your pain, Ethan. Your divorce. Your loneliness. She wants to fix you. The way she couldn't fix herself." I was at the door now. "Stay the fuck away from me." Rebecca's head tilted at an impossible angle. "She's already inside you, Ethan. She rode home in your car, in your dreams. In the empty space next to you in bed." She reached the bottom of the stairs. Her bare feet left wet prints that sizzled on the wood, like the floor was freezing under them. "She's pregnant with you now. She gave birth to the new you, the healed you, the one who never leaves." I ran. I sprinted to my car, slammed the door, locked it. Rebecca, or whatever was wearing Rebecca, walked slowly down the porch steps. She raised one hand and waved. The car wouldn't start. The engine turned over, but wouldn't catch. She was 10 feet away. I looked in the rearview mirror. Emily was sitting in my back seat, soaked auburn hair hanging over her face, smiling. She leaned forward and whispered in my ear, breath ice cold on my neck. "Drive, Ethan. Take me home." The car started instantly. I floored it down the mountain, gravel spraying. In the mirror, Emily was still there, buckled in like a good passenger. I made it to the main road. Cell service kicked in. I called 911 screaming that someone was in my car. The dispatcher tried to calm me down. I looked in the mirror again. The back seat was empty, but the passenger seat next to me was wet. And there was a handprint on the inside of the windshield. Small. Child-sized. No, not child. The fingers were too long. I pulled over on the side of Highway 441, shaking so hard I couldn't hold the wheel. That's when my phone buzzed with a new Airbnb message from Rebecca's account. But the profile picture had changed. It was me now, sleeping in the loft. The message read, "Welcome home, Ethan. Everything is ready for you. Fresh sheets, stocked fridge, firewood on the porch. Please treat the house gently. She's old and has her moods. If you need anything, text me. Cell service is spotty, but Wi-Fi is strong. Password, Emily never left 2025. Enjoy your stay." Ethan, I looked at the listing title. It had been updated. Emily's Rest, a place to heal, permanent residency. 4.99 stars. One review. The review was from me, dated tomorrow. It said, "Best day of my life. I never want to leave. 10/10 would die again." I threw the phone out the window. But it doesn't matter, because when I got back to Atlanta that night, my apartment door was open. The lights were on. Dinner was on the stove. And someone had written on the bathroom mirror in the fog, "Welcome home, darling. I've been waiting. I don't sleep anymore." I just sit in the dark and listen to her walking. Knock. Knock. She's almost ready. She says the birth is soon. She says I'll be beautiful when it's over. If you survived part 2, you know what to do. Subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified the moment part 3 drops Wednesday night. This story is about to get way darker. See you then, if you dare sleep tonight.